Hey everyone, this is Seth Colliner from Tom's Hardware, and I'm here to show you a funky mouse with a weird name, the James Donkey 007. What you're looking at here is actually the naked version of the mouse. It actually comes with a number of pieces you can use to configure it in a variety of ways for your particular grip preference. Here you can see the mouse a little more up close while it's naked. Notice those silver circles are magnets, very strong magnets, and the gold pins are for data for the various pieces. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to swap the parts in and out, and also kind of how difficult it is to find a setting that really works for you individually. Here are your right wings, the finger holder, the general, and the hook. The pinky hook has a little hook for your pinky. The left wings, notice that two of them have extra buttons, which is really handy. In the rear, one has lights, one has sounds, and one is just kind of small. The main difference in the feet is that one has metal feet instead of plastic ones. And this is a little fast forward of me putting on the different pieces. There's the foot. Here are the first three, including the pinky hook. This one has the lighting piece on the rear, the pinky hook, and then just the basic right wing with no button on it. Now we're putting on three different ones. The right side has the finger rester. Notice the left side has that the rectangular button, which is kind of handy, but you can only reach it with the joint of your thumb. This is my preferred configuration. It's a very basic right wing with the rear piece that has the audio on it, and the left side has that little triangular button, which I found very handy. The James Donkey 007 has some weird but also kind of cool sound and lighting features. For the sound specifically, there are two pre-programmed car revving noises that it can make, and you can select which one you want in the software and assign a button to make the noises when you click it. And it only works with the one rear tailpiece, and you can hear them here. It's a little hard to tell the difference between the buzzing and the lightning, but there you go. You can also program one of the buttons to vibrate when you click it. This is limited to just a couple of different ones in the software, but as you can hear, it's kind of neat. I found that it was kind of fun to use for a first-person shooter, just because every time I clicked the fire button, I got a little kickback. But in productivity, it's downright annoying, so I wouldn't recommend it. I think something got lost in translation with Dream a Canning, but so it goes. But this is the default setting, and then this is the Knight Rider version. Neither of these serve a particular purpose really, but they are kind of cool looking. Here in the front are these kind of white headlights. They don't change color. And then of course there's the light up tailpiece. And then on the bottom here on those two sides are white rear tail lights. And these also cannot be changed. They have to remain white for some reason. So this is the constant light setting. This is the default. It comes in this green. And you can click breathing in the software and it'll give you that nice little effect. You can also do color breathing, and so this will just cycle through the 10 different colors you have available. There's a nice green again, a little blue, a little purple's coming up, and so on and so forth. You can always, of course, just disable it entirely. And you can set the constant setting and just choose any of the 10 different colors. Here's just a sample. Notice there's a little bit of flicker. Time for the specs. This mouse has an Avago A900 laser sensor. It's a right-handed mouse and has a polling rate up to 1000 Hertz. It has 7 or 8 programmable buttons depending on which configuration you have, and 4 to 5 lighting zones, which you just saw. It's a pretty heavy mouse at 150 grams max. Has nice full software, which we'll look at in a second, and 11 parts for customization. On to the software. This is the James Donkey custom software. You'll note that when you mouse over the different sections, they light up for you. And this is a nice graphical representation of the mouse itself. And as you move around and highlight the different buttons, you'll see they light up. That's because they are programmable. You can store up to 6 different profiles on the mouse itself, which is really handy. And here are the various sections. We'll start over in the custom button section. These are a number of different mouse events and so on. with the keyboard events, so you can simply just click one of these. Let's try Show Desktop and assign it to any button on the mouse. Let's just drop it right there. You'll notice I didn't have to click apply or anything, it's just set. Here's some functions for the fire key that you can play with. You can also assign a number of media functions. Let's pick one. How about play pause? That makes sense. And we will dump it right on the forward button. Again, the changes are saved automatically. So obviously you have a number of options for the DPI. Let's lock the Y and we'll dump it right there. Why not? Again, the changes are saved automatically, no need to click apply. You can toggle the report rate up and down. That's for polling rate, of course. And you can program one of the keys, any of the buttons I should say, to cycle through your various profiles. Note that this one's a little tricky, it's not letting us. There we go. And we'll drop right there on the profile switch. So now we can toggle up or down through our different profiles. Let's do the up and down both. Very good. And you click the macro settings and you have this nice dialog box. Notice that some of it is actually still in Chinese. And this lets you record your macros fairly easily. Moving on to the effects section. These are the lights that we just saw, and you can click one or the other for to set that. And you can let it cycle, or you can set it to just go on boot. This is the lighting for just the back piece, the one tail piece that has the 007 logo on it. Then you can just see how easy it is to assign colors and change things. That cool jitters thing, the vibration, you can assign one of the click keys or that fire key on the side or the adjust DPI button to do it. And you can select to have this happen on boot or not. Same with the sound. Here's the buzzing you heard a bit ago and the lightning fast. Of course, you can disable it as well. And then looking down there, you can decide which key or which button you can assign the activity to. And you can make it make that noise when you first boot up your computer too, because why not? Over here in the performance settings, you have some nice granular controls. Note that it has 5 DPI settings by default, which is kind of handy. So when you toggle through the DPI settings, that's what you're getting. But you can also unlink it, just like that. And your X and Y can move independently of one another. Kind of neat. And then when you want, you can link it back up and you can still have granular control. So note that I'm on my stage 2 DPI and I can just set that to something, whatever I want it to be. Let's leave it at 1000. There is acceleration on this mouse, and you can see you can just adjust it in one of 4 stages with the slider. Same with the scroll speed, although you have a little more granular control there. I'll leave it there. You're supposed to be able to adjust the polling rate, but I think there's a bug in the software or something because I can't figure out a way to do it. Across the bottom, we have a number of just simple buttons, or save as, load file, restore, reset all, and apply. Let's just reset what we've just done, just in case. And then over here on the right corner is your language selector. It is not in English by default. This is what it looks like when you first open the software. Of course, as an English speaker, that's what I have it set to. Overall, I really like the tracking performance of the 007, and I love all the configuration options. I mean, who wouldn't like so many different ways to configure the mouse to suit just your exact needs? And furthermore, the build quality is just superb. From the finish down to the magnets and so on, you can really see and feel the quality when you're using this mouse. I do have a couple of qualms though. For one thing, because this is such a heavy mouse and it weighs in at about 150 grams when it's fully dressed, and because the right side doesn't have excellent grip, lifting off is kind of a chore. It's certainly not graceful. If you use the pinky attachment, that's a different story, but as I've stated before, I didn't like the pinky attachment. I didn't find it comfortable, so for me, it was be uncomfortable with the pinky attachment or don't have as much grip. This is really only a problem with productivity. In my day-to-day work, it was kind of annoying, but in gaming didn't bother me at all because I wasn't doing much lifting off. The other thing that bothers me a bit about the 007 is the scroll wheel. The click function is just a little too sensitive, and I found that when scrolling up, I was accidentally engaging the click all the time. In day-to-day productivity, that was a huge problem, especially with web browsing and scrolling up and down through articles. In a gaming scenario, that wasn't nearly as much of an issue. I found, for whatever reason, I wasn't accidentally hitting the click very much. I was able to scroll through weapons and other items with no trouble at all. I'm Seth Colliner for Tom's Hardware, and this is the James Donkey 007, configured just how I like it.